Nigga fan 007. What up? You good? I'm alive on beat, man. Drop this shit. What up, nigga? Drop this shit. What up, nigga? Pumkinhead, man. So what are you niggas waiting for, man? Subscribe before the fucking interview start. You niggas is bugging out, man. Angry fan movement.
Hey, Wing, I got Poison Pen on the line. Hey, Pen, what's going on, man?
Man, chilling, man. You know, day 2 of the saga. You know, my brother. I mean, I know yesterday it was kind of difficult for us to talk because, you know, it was extra fresh in our minds, and we was actually more in the morning process right then and there. So half the stuff we was saying one day, I know I was hardly even coherent. I'm pretty sure.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. We had a lot of people call up tonight. Everyone from Lush One, the Direct, Nino, Bless, the Saurus. Everybody was giving their, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Condolences.
Yeah. I heard. I didn't hear Direct. Direct's been calling me since yesterday. I got to speak to him. That's my brother, man. Everybody that you mentioned, you know, well, PH and myself, we have very close relationships with. I heard Nino Bless. You know, Nino, that's been my brother for, you know, decade plus, and you know, me and PH been fucking with him since, you know, he day one with us. So to hear him up there was kind of heartfelt, and that story at the bar when that dude was trying to play PH for his kufi, that shit was hilarious. But yeah, man, it's just, you know, I can speak from more of a clear mind now. So if you got anything you want me to talk about, we can talk about it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no doubt, man. We were just talking about the history. Give us your perception of it, because you were one of the closest from understanding.
As far as people that are on the battle scene, yeah, I probably am the closest ally. You know, that's my brother. I mean, that's like, everybody look at me as like, you know, well, a lot of people, I'm not gonna say everybody look at, but you know, a good amount of people look at me as one of the big homies in this shit for what I contributed and the things that I've done, as far as what I brought to the table with this battle rap thing. Just like I said, I'm pretty sure I said it yesterday, like, everything that I've done from this modern era, from the grind time to the URL, that's solely because of him. He's the one that brought me to the modern era of battle rap. I had nothing to do with it. When he came to me with it, I was actually like, yeah, I don't even watch this shit. These niggas be fucking writing for each other, spitting. Like, these niggas, I thought it was corny at first. I'm gonna be honest with you, because, you know, I came from a different, you know, we battled differently, but then, you know, I was fight clubbing and all that, you know what I'm saying? So niggas just sitting there doing research and, you know, checking background reports. I was kind of like, nah, I ain't with this. But then actually, when I went and saw what it was really hitting for, I'm like, wow, you know what? We could actually cultivate the scene and, you know, push it further, you know, because if you look at how the battle rap scene was before URL came back or whatever and became the premier brand, you know, grind time was what it was, and before PH stepped in, and then, you know, I kind of helped out, and then I took over from him. Before PH stepped in, like, you know, New York was easily the trashiest division in grind time. Easily, niggas was horrible. But, you know, then we started doing the tryouts, and then, you know, PH bought, you know, we had the DNA, you know, DNA and Zilla, you know, we brought them into the league. You know, they did the tryout right in front of us. Like, I think one day we got like DNA, Amzilla, money bags, all in like one fell swoop. You know what I'm saying? Like, but it was just cultivating the scene. But before that, you know, it was kind of like, I mean, there's nothing wrong with an open door policy, but there was just a lot of dudes. Just because you rap doesn't mean you need to be doing this at this level, because we had a big platform. It was kind of uncharted territory at the time, but, you know, a lot of people didn't need to be on that platform or needed a little more help. So when PH stepped in, you know, Hollow's first big matches, and you know, he made the DNA. He was a strong proponent of DNA. You know, DNA, Hollow, Cortez, you know what I'm saying, Conceded, that all came from that pool right there. You know, and then you see these guys are still the top names, the battle rap right now, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And that's a beautiful thing. But yeah, as far as, you know, this scene, like, you know, I've known, like, that's my big bro, and I'm most of the scene's big bro, and that's my big homie, man. So, like, it's still surreal to me, You know what I mean? I know him since I was a kid. You feel me? Before, you know, like I said before, I was rhyming before anything. I knew PH. You know, and he was already active then as a kid. You know, older than me, but still a kid. Like, we was both minors and shit. You know what I'm saying? He was active then, and that's crazy because you see, he's 39 years old. You know.
Mhm.
Yeah, so it's just amazing. Like, he's been doing this for two decades, man. I looked up to him in every aspect, man.
How'd you meet PH?
PH is from Park Slope. You know what I mean? I spent a lot of time out there, and I used to be in Sunset a lot. You know, I was in Sunset Park. You know, I'm from Bed-Stuy, but I have relatives in Sunset Park, so I stayed in Sunset a lot. You know, Sunset and Park Slope. You know, there's a few blocks away. They pretty much neighboring neighborhoods. You know what I'm saying? So you know, I met him. You know, out in the street. You know what I mean? Just running around doing young dumb shit. And then he used to. I remember when I was in school. It's funny because he was older than us, but you know, he used to sneak into school and talk to this chick in my school, and this nigga used to be in the lunchroom. I'm like, yo, this nigga don't even go here. Like, nigga, you should have graduated by now. You don't even go here. But he be in the school fucking with shorties, yo. He fuck with shorties in my school. Take all the business from us, motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? He fuck with shorties in my school, and then from then he was rocking with one of my mans, my man you know, and they clicked up, and they was all Park Slope niggas. You feel me? So from then on, I just, you know, he was a cool brother, and he was rocking with my people. So then we kind of just morphed it in that. And then when I started, you know, trying my hand as a, you know, rapper or whatever, you know what I'm saying? He was already at least established on some local up and coming stuff. He was already doing Blaze battles, and you know what I'm saying? He was already on like Bobito and shit. Like, he already had vinyl out. Like, the nigga had vinyl out. I'm like, I didn't even know how to write like a structure of verse, and this nigga had wax. Like, I can go to Beach Street and see Pumkinhead wax. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, yo, I know this nigga. This nigga got a record. I know this nigga. You feel me? And it was just like, I looked up to him. So I looked up to him since I was a kid. Real shit. You know. I mean, granted, when you mature, you know, obviously, you know, we both strong-willed, strong-minded people. So a lot of things we argue all the time, man. It is what it is. But yeah, at the end of the day, it was love, man. I know them longer than most people on earth. You feel me? So, you know, we just got to bond beyond all this shit, man. And like, it's cool. I could speak now without being as choked up as I was yesterday. It's definitely you know what I mean. My man Arts just passed away, and I had other people that were people in the public didn't know because of hip hop. You know, y'all know my brother PH. You know my brother Charles because of hip hop, because of Team Hammy and whatever. Well, you know, those aren't the only two tragedies that we've had these past few months. So like this year, from November to now, has been very, very, very nerve wracking. You feel me? But you know, we gotta push on, man, and just keep the legacy going, man. We got the donate, and that's going pretty well. Got a lot of big donations. Shout to Rosenberg from High 97. Big shout to him. You know, people don't know, like, PH is like a big kid. We like big kids and stuff, man. We used to go fuck with the wrestling events, you know what I'm saying? And me and PH would go out to Jersey. There's an independent wrestling federation called PWS, Pro Wrestling Syndicate. And actually me, PH, and J Arch, rest in peace, both of the brothers passed away. Both Team Hammy and both had the same birthday, so it was just surreal to me. We used to go to the wrestling events and mess with Rosenberg, from High 97. We was all big wrestling fans. And the funny thing is, I used to take pictures with Arch and the wrestlers. And the funny thing is, Arch was bigger than all the wrestlers because this nigga's 6'8" and 400. So all these niggas I used to grow up watching on TV, I thought was like giants. And I'm with my nigga, and my nigga's bigger than every wrestler in the room. It was just funny. We used to crack jokes all the time about it. But yeah, so Rosenberg from High 97, that's somebody we used to just chop it up with. And, so he donated, shout to Angie Martinez. And it's just amazing, man. I just wish that, I'm glad that my brother's getting some recognition and some light. I'm just kind of perturbed at the fact that, I mean, I understand what it's about, so I don't need the explanation. I know what it's about. I'm just gonna vocalize it. You know, the fact that you know, all right, man, son, CNN.com. It was on the news. It was on Channel 11 News this morning. It was in the Daily News, I think, on page 12 today, on in the New York Daily News. MTV, CNN, Rolling Stone, Hip Hop DX, the Times. Was it? Yeah. And, you know, and Russell Simmons tweeted it and talked about it or whatever have you. And I'm just like, damn, Perez Hilton, my G, like, what the fuck he know about an underground rap nigga from Brooklyn, you feel me?
Yeah.
But I'm happy that they mentioned him and he's getting, he's receiving accolades as being a great, you know, hip-hop artist and battle rapper or whatever you guys want to perceive him as. I'm like, yo, man, y'all niggas don't know nothing about this, man. Y'all ain't know who he was 3 days ago, man. But what I hope this does is, you know, it makes people research to see what it was, because a lot of people in the battle scene don't even realize. A lot of people in the battle scene don't even mess with people's music. And PH has been making music for a long time. You know what I mean? Like I heard my brother Nino speak on the Scheme Team shit. Like that Scheme Team shit was amazing. You know, when that shit came out. You know, I was a little nigga, but like that shit was like, you know what I'm saying? A nigga that I knew, that I could point out in person, like, yo, I know him. He had a record out, like PH and Boot Camp. Like, those are my two go-to guys. Like, these niggas I seen make records that I knew. So it's just amazing to me. But, yeah, you know, they just, you know, they mention them because it's what's popular right now. It's just the news, the current news. But in turn, that helps because people are donating, so I appreciate it. Just like, yo, man, y'all could have celebrated my man when he was alive. But it wasn't beneficial to anybody to do that, other than, you know, his brothers or a few people on the battle scene or whatever have you. So I just think, you know, I'm happy and I'm upset at the same time, but I guess it's a greater good that people are actually mentioning him in such a large capacity. So I'm happy about that. You know what I mean? People could, you know, check my brother Rob, and you can go back and, you know, check Orange Moon Over Brooklyn, Beautiful Mind, Old Testament, you know what I mean, Dynamic, all the records that, you know, people don't even know that he, you know, he was in a group. He was on Making Records. He was on a label with Jean Grey, Bad Seed. You know, they had a clique called OBS. And you know, if you guys follow independent music, you know, Jean Grey is, you know, the top female doing it, and that's PH's old partner and one of his old producers. She used to make beats for him as well. So like, the history goes deeper than just, you know, coming back and battling in King of the Dot and then Grind Time. You know, great showing coming back, you know, going against Disaster or whatever have you, but it goes way beyond that. Like, he was already established, you know, like Orange Moon Over Brooklyn, which is the independent classic, was already out and did well by that time. So, you know, everybody mentions, you know, I mean, you know, people didn't mention him in the same light as like a Cassidy or whatever coming back or Cannabis. I mean, I'm just saying that for name value, not because of how they actually performed. But, you know, at the time when niggas were like, yo, Cannabis is battling, it was like, oh shit, Cannabis is battling? I mean, you saw what happened, but at the same time, it was a great buzz around him battling. You know, PH was the first person to come back and battle that had at least a successful record. I mean, he may not be platinum or nothing like that, but yo, my nigga actually toured the planet. You know, he had stamps in his passport before battle rap even occurred. You know what I'm saying? Well, before this current crop of battle rap had occurred. Like, when he came back in the ring actively, he was already established, and it was just something that he wanted to do to, you know, to stay sharp and sharpen it, keep it short sharp. But it wasn't something that he needed to do. Like his page in the hip hop history was already bookmarked. You know what I'm saying? It may, you know, it may have been it may not have been a huge page, but he played a big part for a lot of people, man. You know what I mean? A lot of people come from that raucous era. You know what I'm saying? Mos Def, Talib Kweli. I mean, he was, you know, more rugged than that, but he still came from that same era, the same cloth. You know what I mean? Mos Def, Talib Kweli. You know, my brother Mortal Technique. You know what I mean? That whole company flow, all that shit. Like PH was right in the midst of all of that. You know what I'm saying? And it was relevant. Like PH has been relevant in so many different eras, yo. You know what I'm saying? Son went from I remember when niggas was doing the what is it? Bragging rights. Niggas was doing the bragging rights battles back in the day. And I don't even remember if I was rapping at the time, but you know, I used to just watch because these niggas was killers. And he battled Ace Lover. Through Ace Lover, you guys can research that guy eventually. And he literally chased him around the stage, and the dude was running from him the whole battle. This shit was fucking hilarious. You know what I mean? So he went from battling people in the freestyle on the beat. You know, he went from that era where it was all freestyle on the beat, transcended to went from that to like the scribble jabs. You know what I mean? The Blaze battles, and to the written era. And was proficient in each one, you know. I mean, yeah, he caught a few L's, but his record is very prolific. I mean, Muhammad Ali caught L's too. People still call him the greatest. You feel me? So, but in each era to have consistent wins and have a steady hand, and then to go from just being a battle MC to actually booking some of the most prolific battles from the early inception of this modern era.
Yeah.
Like, you know, son deserves his spot, man. My brother deserves his spot.
Yeah, I understood what you were saying earlier. It's like a bittersweet feeling, like he's celebrated now and eyes are on him, but you be like, damn, like, you know, he brought so much to the table. Why you ain't been do this? I know exactly where you're coming from, but it's a slow process done. You know what I'm saying? I've unfortunately experienced the back-to-back passings of loved ones and friends, and it's just a slow process. So just hold your head, and you know you're gonna come across some corny shit on the internet, and just don't let it get to you, man. Just be strong for you and the rest of the team and his loved ones and everything.
Yeah, we on deck, man. You know, I'm in close contact. I just spoke to his lady a little while ago. You know, just trying to figure out what the exact issue was that caused my brother to expire. And then you know, once we get all the word about the arrangements and everything, you know, hopefully, you know, people could come out and support, man. I don't know if we're gonna do it like how we did when Big passed away, but you know, niggas was dancing on cars and everything, when Big came down Notion and that hearse, so you'd have thought it was a party for real. So niggas was dancing on cars and shit, man, you know. But you gotta celebrate. Sometimes you gotta celebrate, man. So, you know, maybe 51's Parkway from maybe they'll name the handball court after his Puerto Rican ass. You know what I'm saying? Robert P.H. Diaz handball court. You know what I'm saying?
Gotta be down.
Yeah, that'd be right.
Hey, Penn, you got any crazy stories about him?
Damn, son. A gang of stories, man. Like, he always wanted to fight somebody, man. This nigga always wanted to fight somebody. This nigga right here, man. This nigga Felix always wanted to fight somebody. I mean, now I'm gonna start breaking up, man. You know, this is like super personal to me, man. I mean, I've literally experienced, like, and on top of that, I don't know if anybody touched on this part of PH's life as far as in the hip-hop realm, because, you know, I ain't gonna touch on all the personal stuff, but as far as hip-hop, you know, PH was also, like, besides him having, you know, amazing music and being instrumental in what we now call battle rap in New York City, he's been a successful event promoter for years as well. Like, PH has thrown the most ridiculous shows in New York City. Like, you know, well, last year was slow, but we didn't do any last year. We did one early last year. Actually, he did but you know, this is from the golden era of hip hop, like 90s, early 2000s. That's the era that PH thrived off of. So, like, we did, like, well, not we. I didn't throw it. He threw the Organized Confusion, which is, you know, Pharaoh Monch and Prince Poe. If you guys didn't know, you know, do a little history on that. You know, Pharaoh Monch is one of the nicest niggas ever. You feel me? He threw the Organized Confusion Stretch 20th anniversary show last year, and like almost every event that he threw, from with the Golden LA. He did shows with like everyone from from Quali to Organized Confusion to my man Digger to Brand Nubian. He kind of brought out that golden ever crowd to the shows, and almost every event was sold out. So I mean, he did that as well beyond just rapping. He wasn't there just trying to promote Pumkinhead rap and shit. I would host a majority of the events, or my man Mozzie, that you guys may know from hosting the old jump off battles. So I mean, PH did that too. He had a legacy. He left a legacy with that as well. So there's going to be a void in New York City nightlife as well. You understand what I'm saying? Like he worked closely with Lyricist Lounge with Danny Castro, and did a lot of prolific things with them. I know he lived out one of his childhood dreams last year with the Summer Stage, and I was with him a majority of the ride, man. Obviously as artists we had our separate paths, but just as far as brothers, like we the majority of this was done together. Like he was a part of the Plague, I was a part of Stronghold. He was with Pac FM, Tone Deaf, Hydra, Jin or whatever, and I was with Mortal Technique, C-Rays Walls, Breeze Ever Flowing, Swayze, you know what I mean? But we all still ran parallel to each other. And the funny thing is, he was with that clique, I was with that clique, but we knew each other longer than everybody, so we kind of, outlasted, and, so it's just amazing, man. But it's gonna be tough, yo, for real. We're gonna organize a big event. Oh, I see. Started rambling and shit. One of the big things that he did that was hell real dear to him was like bucket list shit, man. Summer Stage every year. New York City has Summer Stage where they do free shows in the park, Central Park, Red Hook Park. What's the park up in the Bronx? Pelham? That's the park in the Bronx, Pelham Park or whatever. Yeah, they take all the parks in the city and they do big hip-hop events. Well, big events, period, not even just hip-hop. They do just big events. Like, they had Shaka Khan in Prospect Park last week. So they'll bring all sorts of different people out, and they do hip-hop shows as well. And they actually had Rakim. Rakim did Red Hook Park last year, and that's that area in Brooklyn, Red Hook, but Park Slope ain't far. And who did they ask to, open it up before Rakim came out? You know what I mean? PH.
Wow.
And that was huge. That was huge for him. You understand what I'm saying? So, I mean, obviously, I'm right there with him. I didn't do any music with him, but I'm right there with him. He was just so happy, to perform for Rakim. We performed right before Rakim, and and PH boy Royce and Raiden now brought his kids out, and they got to meet Rakim, and that was one of the crowning achievements. Like, he was just so happy that he could do that and have his sons meet Rakim, and now his kids listening to Rakim, and they're young, and but the legacy lives on. So, I feel for the boys more than anything, man. And now their daughter's gonna grow up without their dad, but I know it's gonna be hard for Royce and Raiden because they grew up with their dad, so it's probably gonna be a little bit worse for them because they have things to reference. You know what I'm saying? And they're gonna be distraught. So we gotta be there for them, like we gotta be there for my brother Arch's children. And it's different. I can be Uncle Pen all day, but I'm not Daddy. You understand? But now they have about 40 extra uncles, but it's still not Dad. I'm Uncle Purple Socks anyway. That's a long story behind that, but I'm Uncle Purple Socks. But but yeah, so it's just, man, someone that he was with his children every day. Like he wasn't a sperm donor. You understand?
Yeah.
He was there with his children, took care of his children. He wasn't at an event or trying to grind for his family. He was with his kids. And he would take them to hip hop events that weren't too crazy. Not to no battles now, fuck all that. But to regular hip hop events, stuff in the park or whatever, he would take his boys out and let them know what it's about. So now they have a grasp on what it is to come from that cloth, because they're from that cloth as well. So it's difficult, man. It's difficult, it really is, yo. It's really difficult. You know what I mean?
And you know what? I asked the stores. I didn't know that you were coming on. I definitely wanted to ask you the same, but I asked the stores a question in regard to basically PH's legacy. Excuse me, I'm sorry. In a nutshell, I felt like, you know, this is a wake-up call to the hip-hop community, to battle rap. What would you think would be his dream for battle rap going forward?
He didn't care. Like, he came from the old school of this era, you know, so it's like, doesn't sound corny, but equality, because, you know, not like nowadays, like all these, you know, and people deserve, you deserve to make your money, but, you know, like now it's just like niggas just getting absorbent fees and picking who they want to pick because they have a little leeway, and, you know, PH didn't really play by that shit, you know what I mean? It was like, yo, like when PH called you and was like, yo, you gonna battle you, nigga, that's who you was battling, son. Like, that was it. Like, he didn't play favorites. I mean, obviously, you're not gonna put, you still have to be within reason. Obviously, you know, you're not gonna put some dude that has like 15 battles with, you know, 400,000 views apiece against some dude that has like 3 battles with 10,000 views. Nah, I mean, obviously, that's not gonna happen. But, you know, at the same time, when he booked the events, and then even when he passed a lot of it off to me, it was kind of like, listen, you got to trust that I know what I'm doing, and I'm not going to scare you wrong. You know, as far as, you know, so it's like, that's what, you know, like, people need to, you know, put their trust into our hands as the bookers, promoters, or whatever, to know that I'm not going to screw you over. You know, this is in both our best interests. You know, you got to look at the bigger picture instead of just looking at yourself. And, you know, PH definitely looked at the bigger picture as well. You know? Mm-hmm.
He wanted to close to
so, I mean, and, you know, we weren't big on the politics, but, you know, politics is going to kill this whole industry, man. You know, it's, you know, a lot of shit's running a ride, but, you know, he wasn't big on the politics, man. He wasn't big on the politics.
Right.
Yo, Pam, what's one, you know, I respect the fact that, you know what I mean, you just kept it all on the music and the battles and everything, but what's one piece story that, you know what I mean, he'd be like, oh, don't tell that one. Just something that, you know, to you know, try to lighten the mood, and just a good one, a funny one, if you got one.
Oh, I can't tell you. I can't do this because this is incriminating evidence, yo.
Okay, I dig it. Respect to all. I dig it.
We have, yeah. It's, you know, I can't. You know, you got me thinking on my feet. If I got to think of a lighter anecdote, you know, I got to think of that later. But, you know, right now all this other thing is incriminating. We gonna let my bro shine right now.
Facts. I get that story at an event. That's a good one. I know it is.
But yeah, I traveled. Matter of fact, all right, hold on. Nah, I can't. No, you know what? Nah,
don't even try to clean it up. Don't even try to clean it up. Yeah, don't do it.
But I see you. I'll put you up. I can't even talk. That's
It sounds like everyone, from what everyone has said, every single person, like, you know what I'm saying, I said earlier, it seemed like he, like, without the music, without the battling, he would have been friends with all of y'all. You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all just genuinely loved the dude. So, you know what I'm saying? That's the best part about it.
Yeah. But I will say one thing, man. This is one thing I will say, man, that he always did, besides the battle rap shit, like, as far as hip-hop wise. I mean, and the same thing goes for me. It's always reciprocated. But no matter where we was at, whether we was in. And the thing is, PH had a lot of fans in Toronto. You know what's funny? I remember one time we went to Toronto back in 2009. We did a show. And it was totally, he brought me along with him and got me taken care of and everything. But it was a big show. It was Freeway. It was PH. was a Poison Pen guest appearance. I was like, background, but I did some joints that was dope. It was PH, it was Freeway, AZ, and Acrobatic and Mr. Lift. And we did a show at the Opera House. And this is '09, so this is before King of the Dot was even like really popping like that. But there's pictures from that show with like Organic in the crowd and like PH reaching out to give him a dap on like some real like on some fan shit. Not playing Organic at all, but it's like you could like Organic in the crowd reaching out like, oh shit, and PH reaching and giving him a dap, and it's like funny, like a few short years later we'll all be like working together. Yeah. I didn't know who Organic was that day. And the funny thing is when we started going back up to Toronto for King of the Dot, a lot of people were like, I was at that show. It's cool to see you guys back, whatever. Because it was a big show out there, and we had a ball, man. But PH, no matter what, he always like if I was there, it was not a question if I was getting time to go up there and spit my brand of belligerence. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. It was not even a question. If I'm there, Pen, you rocking. Period. That's just what it was. Like if you can look at if you can comb through the flyers throughout the years and peruse the internet and see whatever flyers from old shows, if it said PH's name there, somewhere along that flyer, 65, 70% of the time, you see my name there somewhere. Because he always made sure. And vice versa, you know what I'm saying? The last tour we did together was we did New England. It was a few quick shows like 2 years ago. It was I do the Motor Technique thing heavy, so it was us and PH and Hoffa. Took PH and Hoffa out, you know what I'm saying? And we had a fucking ball, man, you know what I'm saying? And the thing is we all look out for each other, Hoffa's closer to us than people realize, you understand what I'm saying? I mean, you should be fucking behind me, but whatever, is what it is. But PH, he always, no matter what, like if I'm there, like every time if like I'm at a spot, if I walk in a spot, he on stage, like, Pen, come on stage. It's not even a question. I just walk on and it's boom. Do our little 1-2 thing and shit. Like I got numerous freestyles with us, and I feel we were just arguing last week in the car. Like we was just together a few days ago, and everything was cool, which is another thing that's taking me, taking me aback. Cause I was just with him, and we was just talking, and I was with him face to face for days, like literally a few days ago, and none of this was telegraphed, Yeah. But he would always be for me like, yo, because we got different recording processes. As far as making music, and he always yell at me like, yo, you never put me in none of your albums. I'm like, yo, but you on a mixtape? No, fuck that. I won't be on the album. I'll put you on all my shit. And I was like, yo, you know what? You right. And I was actually like, damn. And I was but we always did P was always on the majority of the Motor Technique projects as well, and those always do good. And but we have a number of it's right. Yeah, Peach put me on almost every joint he had, and for whatever reason, like when I was recording my shit, I didn't call him. But it was like it wasn't like I was neglecting him. It was just like, okay, I'm over here doing this, and I was just in the zone, so I didn't reach out. But I kind of regret it. I mean, the Team Hobby joints we got together, that's different. But like as far as Poison Pen solo music, he wasn't on any of the projects. He was just yelling at me the other day about that. He was just yelling at me, and I was trying to get a beat so I could put him on the joint, because me and Chino XL, we doing the next project I got coming out is me and Chino XL, we doing collabos, and me and him's like a duo. We got a quick project we going to drop. So I was trying to put him on that, or put him on the solo album, and then my brother he left us in a physical form, man, and so I guess that won't happen unless I can find an acapella or something, and pay homage to him like that, man. But it's just, I still don't really believe it, man. I only slept about 2 hours since I found out. You know what I'm saying? I'm just, just trying to mask the pain through other means and shit, which probably ain't too healthy, but I really don't fucking care right now. But, yeah, man.
It's definitely tough, man. Hey, man, we definitely, you know what I mean? Hold your head. We definitely supporting over here. The link is youcaring.com. Youcaring.com. That's the Memorial Fund for PH. It's for his wife, Shantae. The organizer is Rodney Willie. So y'all all go to youcaring.com. Y'all donate, man.
Yeah, please do. All the proceeds go right to the family. Shantae, that's his wife. You know, that's my sister as well. We hold it strong. And yeah, as soon as we organize, we're gonna do a big super event. I already spoke to Kweli about it, you know, because you know people don't know him and Kweli grew up together, you know. Him and Kweli was in elementary school together. I don't know if people know that, you know. So I spoke to Qua's on deck. You know, Sean Price, you know, like, dude, like his musical family runs very deep, you know, and the legacy's gonna live on, man. It's just difficult that you're not gonna hit like anything new, you know. This dude wrote rhymes every day. This dude was recording music and battling like 6-7 times a year. You know what I'm saying? This dude probably wrote more bars in a month than I do in like 6. You know, and just consistently writing and being a father and taking care of your family and being a provider and, you know, doing things in the hip-hop community as well. Like, he wore many hats.
Nigga fan 007. What up? You good? I'm alive, I'm breathing. Drop this shit. What up, nigga? Drop this shit. What up, nigga? Pumkinhead, man.